So, last session, which was a while ago, you guys had made it into the Blackthorn Citadel of the Durgars. You had managed to go through pretty much unattacked for most of it. You only were the ones to actually start fighting, saving several elementals as well as a Dao, seemingly a princess, some type of royalty from the plane of elements. After leading her through her portal that she had came from, you guys decided to carry on going down further through the spire itself, where it also seemed very vacant. After coming to a landing area which seemed to be covered with this black viscous molasses or some type of material that seemed to be covering most of the floor and walls. You guys made out of one of the gateway exits onto one of the bridges and into a mining tunnel which seemed to switch back on itself downwards. For several hours you guys had travelled until you reached some type of respite or some type of camping spot for the miners that used to be down here. After looking around, you found it was very much also abandoned. Tools were very misshapen and very thrown together, but with no life in sight. You guys carried on going, and that is actually where we left off, with I believe Savant, you're taking lead on this, or is it much of a just group movement for the time being?
Much hurrying along, not looking for. I know Savant is leading in directionally because he's looking for footprints if he can find any. But other than that, he's not particularly like the leader.
Okay. So, as you guys are traveling pretty much in darkness at this point, all of you have dim light vision to some point. Aaron and Serafina, you guys have the dark vision still active, I believe.
Yeah, you said 14 hours, so we got 2 left.
So you got 2 hours left. Wow.
And
okay.
That's it.
All right then.
Like I said, it's gonna be funny if we don't have vision and we need to be guided around.
Oh right, you guys also had spoken with the other group across using the Ascending Stone, which gave you some very interesting information of where they are and where you should be heading. Seemingly there's some sort of a graveyard below, and that is why you were heading down.
And we got to know that you can't sense dead things with primal awareness.
Dead things usually don't have a sense, yes. Unless they're undead. So, as you guys are travelling through, Savant, you can give me a perception. Actually, you can give me a survival check because you're looking at tracks.
I'm a good at.
And I imagine, Seren, you're probably keeping lookout, so you can give me a perception check as well.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot. I can't roll hide and then I'll fix.
That was last session. Hopefully this session you can do better. Yes, as you're travelling through the... Oh gosh. Okay, we're starting off well.
My turn.
An 11 and a 6. Solid. Savant, looking around on these, the floor, after some point, the earth that you guys have been travelling on has turned into more stone and rock. Mostly quite brittle. Not obsidian, but more of a granite. And it seems the cavern itself is still shaped by tools from some shape. There's still some natural cavern structure to this. as you're traveling through. All the pillars of timber braces, they're all gone at this point. This is now a natural cave system that has been at least partially shaped by tools. You don't see tracks, but you do see occasionally what seems to be scraps of some type of cloth or leather. Saren, you just see shit. You just see rocks and
I've
boulders.
been awake for too fucking long. I'm tired. God
And the
damn it.
leather smells like what? Illithid?
You go and smell it,
It's
or pick it up, or pick
illicit.
one up. If you have a look at one piece, it's not anything bigger than maybe like a small piece of card, but it's very obviously torn, and give me an investigation check actually. See how much you can figure out.
Look at them closely.
After putting on the googles, the googles, the
Yes.
goggles.
Sacred
I'm gonna have another drink.
Savant, the premier user of Google Glass, of course.
Yes, looking at them, even though it's black and white, you can definitely tell this is definitely a creature leather. There's very rough surfacing across it. You can see very clearly there's some type of, not so much scaling, but there's definitely a hardened surface on this of whatever it was. And it's been cured into actual, probably wearable leather. But it's been completely shredded from whatever it was attached to. And you can see the jagged marks. Definitely something sharp. Not sure how sharp, but something cut it.
And how recent are cuts?
With a 12, they're definitely not recent. So anywhere from between several weeks to several months.
Okay. We're heading in the right direction.
And you,
Let's keep going up.
as you guys carry on traveling for possibly another half hour, you see other pieces of this. Some of different types of leather. Some are thinner, some are slightly thicker. Some look more like cloth. All very much in these shreds. And this cavern just keeps on going. There isn't much in the way of openings and large spaces, but it's a very narrow cavern, which seems just about right for dwarves to carry on traveling through, which you can imagine is some type of purpose of it. As you're traveling through, the whole way down, it has been at a very not so much steep angle, but definitely there is a decline to this this cavern tunnel. And by the time an hour has passed after finding that first piece of scrap, you start noticing other objects. You start seeing bone. Not whole pieces, but sections. Half a femur. Part of a finger. And if you go and have a look at them, Savant, you can tell it's again, it's definitely not recent. There's no blood. It's sunken. It's dried. It's definitely You could definitely estimate it's definitely several months have passed.
How do the bones look like? They're being malnourished, like they're.
Give me a medicine check, and anyone else can do an investigational medicine. As you see all these other pieces at this point. Wow.
Ulam will probably roll.
Yeah, actually, I'll do one for him as well, because he actually does have medicine.
Yeah, he actually does have medicine.
I should put in probably to 6.
We could roll 1 and 1.
Ah, 15, cool.
Investigation or medicine?
Yeah, depending on what you're trying to actually ascertain. There's several other pieces of scraps. Alright.
That's almost a 2.
That means to go CSI.
28. Wow. For the medicine checks, both Ulan as well as Ithamor, looking at these bones, these have definitely been one, it's been bitten, so it's definitely been killed, or whoever this finger is attached to. Looking at the finger itself, even though there's little to no skin on it, you're pretty sure these weren't normal Duragar, as there's definitely fusing of bones, and there's something wrong with them. And it was definitely killed during the blood loss, so they didn't die of natural causes. Seraphina, looking around at all these kind of scraps, there isn't any full body to put it with, but there's something uncanny, one with the bones that everyone's looking at, which remind you of the Grimlock. The creatures which you had discovered were mutations of the underground races into abominations. And the remains that have been left from them are more of a completely torn asunder instead of just cut or chopped, which a weapon would do. And they haven't been just mauled, as there is no rib cage you guys are finding. It's just very much very small pieces of bone and material.
I ate it. Nom 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 nom.
And actually, because of that as well, in this darkness, looking around in certain parts, you can see some of the stone throughout this tunnel is not stone, but moved earth in places. And looking at it, it's about 20 foot across in certain parts of the cavern wall.
You said it was 20 feet across.
That worm-sized?
Reminds me of the spiders.
I assume it looks like the area, which is why we have not noticed it. Does it seem natural?
It seems rather, you wouldn't say natural, but it seems it's been naturalized. It's been something kept disturbed and then it's formed back into a natural state. You're not sure how long it's passed, but from this one that you're looking at, this 20-foot area, which is very clearly, as you're looking at it now, marked away from the stone around it, in not a perfect, but a very clear shape of a circle. that's being kind of dug out and then replaced with earth. And the only reason you noticed it is because you're looking around, just feeling around for it. Because the colour itself is almost identical. Grey and grey.
If I walk over and basically touch the two different kind of surfaces, is there any? What is? Is there any obvious difference feel to them?
Oh, definitely. The area around, which is very much a type of stone, that brittle granite stone. Parts of it around this circus area are definitely fragile, and some of it actually breaks to your touch. The center part, which is this, it's almost a kind of a compound mixture of both earth and stones, kind of ground together into this kind of almost a clay paste that's kind of just like putty that's being kind of placed there, and it's kind of got a doughy feel to it, like it's just to cover up an area. And touching it, it's almost damp. Which down here is surprising.
Can I, by the edge of this, move some of it side to see if it's laying on something or if it's part of what?
Someone will probably have to. Do you just take something from the side, or you try and take some to the center? Because someone's going to have to help you.
I will start at the edge to push it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't take you too long to just like take off a good hand size section away, which it kind of not so much stretches, but kind of just pulls itself as you kind of take it away. And it, yeah, it's very doughy and just, and you kind of have this mess in your hand. Looking at it, it's definitely a compound of several things thrown together. Yeah, give me another investigation check. All right, 23. See, Mims has taken all your rolls, guys.
Well, somebody has to.
Yeah, 23. Like, this is looking at it and then having a closer look, bring it up to your face. It doesn't really have a smell, but you just having a look and your keen eyes spot this. There's several pieces of bone and other materials inside this that seem to be combined and stuck together in a composite mixture with all the stone, debris and earth.
Wonderful. We're sifting through shit.
Which definitely has a semblance to what a creature would throw up as waste material or excrete.
This reminds me of bees a bit.
I had it not been Serafina, but one of technically other characters, I would have thrown it off that one.
Fortunately, it doesn't have much of a smell. If anything, it has a kind of that wet clay smell of kind of very earthy, but slightly damp. And while you're kind of just looking around at this, Tovarok's just standing in the back, just watching you guys. I don't know why I'm here. That's not his voice.
We're here for a bigger picture.
Looking at mud.
I'm just gonna walk over. Does it remind him of like beehives or like ant hills or spiders?
Give me a nature check.
I
Much for being a
assume, however to pronounce his name is saying this out loud.
Cement, you have no shitting idea.
Wow.
Worst
This
time
is
ever. I kill stuff, nothing else.
this is not your domain. The Underdark in one part. There is definitely some, I guess, similarities, but the compound itself is unknown to you.
This, and I slightly lift the I have in my hand mush dough. Seems like it's waste from a creature, and from what I have gathered or can see, there might have been something by that ate something or lives here, because this is still damp.
Oh, okay.
Well, let's keep our eyes out and keep moving on.
Yeah.
We don't have much light left in with us, and we still have some friends that are quite in a pickle.
Well, I'm following you, so take the lead.
Head
Alright.
down, I guess.
You gonna take point again?
Not having prestidigitation.
I guess he should be, as he's sort of starting to.
Seraphine, you kind of just shake your hands clean.
And I would ask Aaron if he would be so kind to clean my hands after I have.
I hope that's not a touch spell.
What?
A touch spell.
Hesitation is not touch, babe. I like her using.
No, I don't think so. No.
Wait, what's the question?
If whatever
Yep, all of it,
is
yep.
is touch.
No. He has a range of like 10 feet.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's not a
Same
long
thing.
range, but yeah.
I'll do it standing at 9.9 feet away.
Sweet. He's like, eh.
Yeah.
Aaron, the magic sanitizer.
Yes, he is the first aid kit of sanitizing.
Thank
Call me
you.
Purell.
As you guys are kind of in this cavern, it's not so much narrow, but it is definitely shortening at this point. It's just tall enough that Ithamore, you're not having a problem to stand up in it, but it's definitely becoming more noticeably shorter. Probably because, well, they didn't really design this tunnel for Elvenkind. But it's fortunately quite wide. It's about 15 feet wide at this point. So several of you can stand next to each other as you're traveling through.
Oh, that's nice.
Eventually, you guys come to more of an opening. A cavern which is definitely large enough that all of you can take a relief. It has a ceiling more in the realms of about 20 feet high, and it opens out on the sides into more of a natural design. At this point, not actually that much time has passed, still within the realms of about an hour and 20 minutes since those first scraps of cloth had been found. And at this point, you're noticing more and more of these pieces from more of a variety of creatures. Bones as well. And Seraphina, after seeing the first one, you're also noticing several more of those holes in the wall, or at least patches. By the time you reach this cavern, you've already seen another 4 of them. But traveling down, you haven't really heard any noise. It's always been just your own footsteps echoing throughout the cavern, and the very faint, not so much wind, but kind of a current is blowing through. As you feel some type of hot air coming from the cavern below, that seems to be blowing through this and past you guys, back out the way you guys come. As you guys travel through, Seren and Aaron, you two.
No light. What?
You can give me a perception check.
Yeah, let me do that.
That's a natural 20.
That's how you do it.
That's how we do it.
Ever roll shit except for 2 people. How you do it.
25. Well, alright then. As you begin coming to the end of this cavern, you both, Seren, you kind of feel it first. Not really hear it, but feel it through your feet. This slow rumbling sound, which is only noticeable from the very faint tremors of the rock below you, which you pick up. You also notice as well, because of natural 20, the cavern ahead immediately narrows into a very small, about 5 foot wide passage, which leads into whatever the next section of this cavern area is. Aaron, you feel this tremor as well, but you also hear coming from one of the walls the source of this kind of rumbling sound, which is almost it's almost like a rock slide. This kind of just low, which seems to go past that wall, go underneath, and then come up from the other wall.
Are we smart enough in the game to figure out that there's something burrowing around us?
Well, we know what bullets feel like, so we might think it's something that size, but we also know that worms are down here. We've been
You
told.
know several things, and you do have an intelligence, so
Well,
you can make an intelligence check if you desire.
oh yeah,
Well,
oh
if
yeah.
Wow.
It's not a
that's
saving.
one word, yeah.
Aaron is
Preoccupied.
preoccupied with staying away from those patches of dirt he can see.
Well,
Well,
You say
Well, you
dirt.
can't see anything, so how do you do
It's
No.
dirt.
Do.
And as it passes underground past you, all of you can start feeling this kind of rumbling sensation as it seems to be doing circles around this cavern as it goes. You can hear it on one side of the wall, through the ceiling, into the other wall, and it goes below. Just
But it doesn't seem like it have noticed us.
you're not sure.
And
What are you guys gonna do?
Depends on your weapons.
We're getting ready to rumble.
Oh my god. Seriously?
Are you guys just gonna stand still? You guys gonna move?
does it just keep looping around the cavern?
As you kind of wait for a couple of seconds, it does seem to distance itself, and then it seems to get closer again, and then it seems to distance itself again, and for but a moment, it feels like it's disappeared. And then you hear it again. And then
Oh.
I'm not sure how you guys are grouped up.
We're not completely not grouped up.
You're probably not. So, with the little map we have, can you guys put yourselves in a order of where you guys would be?
Like, where were we headed? North?
You would be heading north.
Okay. Was
Front will be slightly ahead.
crap. The light's moving with me.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
The light is moving with you.
That's so cool!
It's a new test we're trying out.
Sorry, I'm just gonna... okay, I'm done.
Synergy will be somewhere in the rear
Alright.
position, rear position.
Oh my god, that's so awesome.
I imagine Ulan would also be at the front-ish.
Hmm.
I
It'll
think
probably
it's funny
be.
because
Yeah.
it's funny because you have been able to do this for like what, over 2 years?
And Ithamore, you'll be what?
In the sanctuary.
Okay, sweet. So
I
then,
would be there.
in that case, it would go for the largest heat source, which would be
Yeah.
the.
There-ish.
I'm so what?
Okay, there then.
The.
Then it's the 10 feet behind.
Well,
Well,
you
I
literally
will-
go for
the
blind,
largest
aren't you?
heat source. I hate you.
Hey, I'm small, okay? Oh,
The. Yep.
Heat
No,
have
just
nothing
two.
to do with size.
wow.
The
Yeah,
three at the
no.
front, which means. Seren, you are the first one to hear this, as
Bring it.
comes directly underneath. As you, Savant, and Ulan react, boulders, rock, and earth just spray up in like almost a fountain, as a moor appears below you from the sound of this rumbling, and yep, that's about right.
Oh, great, purple worm.
There we go. You three, well, you two, and I'll make one for Ulan, need to give me some deck saves.
So great at us. As I told you, I'm so great at them.
And let's just put up his character sheet. Makes it easier for me.
Yeah, no.
You had advantage.
And not
You
on
do.
deck saves while I'm not raging.
No, you do. Danger sense
Yeah.
is
But
always.
that's only for initiative, I thought.
No, danger sense
No,
is
it's
deck
safe.
saves.
That says.
has a dex of +9. Ulan. Oh, yeah. I roll better for Ulan than Ulan.
I mean, he's a monk.
Oh, it's an effect I can see, I guess. Alright, that does count.
Yeah.
You literally like, huh? Put down.
Yeah, no.
All right.
Was worth a try.
So, Ulan, being the monkey he is, just immediately steps out of the way as this. Saren and Savant, on the other hand, as you hear it, your body doesn't react in time as you shift the armor out of the way. Both of you feel the jaws touch your feet, go up the rest of your body. The rest of you see them vanish from within this creature.
Well, it seems
As
like
you see the maw rise out of the ground with this huge trunk of a body and this mouth.
Yeah, it just swallowed a very. It's gonna. Oh my god, the dwarf is pissed.
he literally swallowed the 2 people that are known to fight from the inside of creatures.
Actually, I've never been.
Oh yeah, you have
This
never
is
that
gonna be a new experience.
For
Yeah.
the time being,
The worm is not gonna like it.
Welcome
too.
to the club, Saren.
suffer.
It's great on the inside. The skin is thinner on the inside, right? That's how it works.
21 points of damage to the 2 of you. As you are both restrained and blinded. The rest of you see this hulking, purplish, almost snake-like creature of just a maw for a face. What catches your attention more than watching your friends be literally swallowed by it is across its entire body very small flickers of light, fractions of crystal embedded across its entirety of its body. I would like you all to roll initiative.
Gotta get this tracker up. Advantage.
Uh-oh.
Open up the tracker.
Oh wait, uh-huh.
Oh, what?
Really?
All right. Yep, that would definitely be Serafina.
Well, not much. better.
Savant, yours as well.
I put the in mine.
Your sanity check,
Oh right.
as well
I'm blinded,
as.
I can't see the creature.
Oh, you can't see the creature. Yeah, you are blinded. Yeah, you don't know what the hell's
I
happening.
can't see the creature I'm fighting.
Well, you can feel it.
So, Senager, on the other hand,
Yeah. Hang on a second.
I believe it's only when you're hit, or is
I
it?
think it's when I'm hit.
Yes.
I need to make a save.
Okay. So
which
I'll
is
keep
gonna
that in
be
mind,
2
as
seconds.
will you.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. So
Yours really suck.
at the top of the initiative, Senager, you just see this fountain of earth as both Saren and Savant vanish.
Yeah.
And then there's more of 20 feet wide emerges from the ground. What you do?
I mean, I gotta rush in there. There's no way I'm not rushing in there.
You saw your BFF and your girlfriend get eaten.
Yeah. I mean, come on.
Ay, ay, ay.
As you get close to it, you are minute to this thing. It is. You're just seeing scales in front of you. Its maw is still several feet above you. But what are you going to do?
I'm gonna do my 2 attacks, which I have not done in a long time, so I'm excited.
Bring out the maul. Which one is this? Is this the Warhammer? Oh, this is the Warhammer. Sweet.
This is magical.
Uh,
Because it's a +1 Warhammer.
I believe it is a +1 Warhammer.
Yeah.
Yes. So this is with, yeah, it's with the +1. So for the first strike, 26, followed by a 24. Both of those hit. Doing
I guess
12
key
and
point to do it.
19 points of damage. Clean. Yeah. And you're gonna what? Key point for what?
Flurry of blows.
Flurry of blows. As and then going with your hands and feet. 17 and 17. Both of those, unfortunately, are gonna miss. As you slam into the scales with your fists. They're a lot tougher than you expected, as there's no impact. And that ends your turn.
Yes, it does.
Savant, you are being constricted from the inside, and you can't see anything.
Well, this is gonna sound weird. Because I always have advantage on my... Well, I have advantage on creatures that haven't acted the first turn. So
It has not acted, but it had a surprise attack on you, so...
Well, it says first turn. Does surprise round count as a turn?
Yeah, it's technically a surprise turn, so yeah.
Okay, never mind then. Well, I can't get even normal attacks then.
So this is at disadvantage.
Yeah,
And it
it's
would
always
be
disadvantage.
if it's with your gun anyway. So, what's your plan? Are you going to do anything? As you can't see or really do much, but you can feel your whole body being pulled between these muscles that are just kind of constricting around you. And you can start feeling a liquid being almost saturated into your clothes at this point.
First off, whoops, not that bottom.
That's a shield.
Yeah. First off, I'm gonna quick draw Rose.
Okay, as you try and pull this gun up, it's like...
Come on, Rose! Because I can't get even normal attacks, which is funny. I'm gonna use a good hit point. Do a violent shot, Rose.
Oh god. This can go one of two ways.
Huh?
This is with disadvantage. Oof, a 4. Actually,
4 is a misfire.
4 is not a misfire.
Yes, with a violent shot, is it?
Oh, with a violent shot it is. Yes. Which is, I imagine, what you were aiming for.
Yes, I actually aimed for a misfire this time.
Yeah. I'm going to say Seren is not next to you, as this creature is large enough to have both of you separated from each other. So do the misfire damage, and both you and the creature will take this.
Yes, and also violent shot.
And violent shot, so it's an extra D10.
Roll is twice, basically.
Remember, it's only 1d10, not 2d10.
So 9.
Yeah, 9. Alright, so 9 points of damage as from the inside of this creature.
Change that emotes.
And you just about managed to reload it for your second action.
No, I'm actually not gonna reload Rose.
Oh, okay.
Because it's misfired.
Oh, because it misfired, right.
But I still have quick draw, so I can change mid attack, so I'm gonna now pull out RBM.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do another violent shot.
Is it a free action to... Oh, it's a free action to draw. Okay. So do another one. I imagine you're spending another grit for this.
Yeah, another violent shot. That's not a misfire, though.
That is not a misfire, and that's not a hit. Which is impressive. As you're inside this creature, it kind of just... and seems to just get it embedded into the flesh and not go anywhere. There was no projectile distance for it to gain velocity. Did it misfire? But that does end your turn. Saren,
Oh!
you can't see shit, but you definitely know what's happened.
Yeah, I'm reaching. And... these are at disadvantage, so I will click the button.
These are like super disadvantage. You're like blinded and restrained.
Nope.
That is a 3. Second attack is a 1.
Actually, I can reroll that.
Can you reroll?
Oh, no, wait, damage roll, sorry.
Yeah,
Not
damage
no,
rolls.
no, you're not the-
Which would have been good because that's 20 points of damage if it hit. But both of these attacks, it's almost impressive that it's actually managing to restrain your attacks. These muscles that are surrounding you, just one of these must be about the same size as you, of just constricting against your arms and against this axe. And both of them don't manage to connect in and cut any of the tissue. Aaron,
Yes.
what are you going to do?
Panic.
Alright. As this thing's just... and just dirt is just flying across the room.
Oh, so cute. I will cast a spell.
Cast a spell. Oh, I know what I didn't do.
At the worm.
Wow.
I forgot to roll Land's initiative. Because I'm a genius. That's fine. I'll do his turn in a second. What was that? Guiding bolt? 24? That's a hit. Slamming into it with just 15 points of radiant damage. Can I add up? Sorry. Yep. Try to do math for a second. Brain nearly exploded.
Reverse math.
And you step away. Okay. That ending your turn, I imagine.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Ithamore, you're up.
Do you want to do Ulan's swing first? We're supposed to do
Yeah, I'll do Ulan's first because technically you had 25 because yeah, I rolled. I imagine I'm going to do things simple because I don't want to complicate things. I'm going to do 2 attacks with the impact stuff. First one is a 27. That's going to hit. Second one is a 21. That is going to hit.
Technically, the first one is at advantage.
Oh, it is. Which I'll do is that one, so 27 still. And second one is a 19. So both attacks are going to hit. And again, somehow he rolls more on one-handed than two-handed. Well, as he starts wailing into this, and it's going to do 1 unarmed attack of 14. But it does do, what's that, 8, 17 points of damage. Nope, it's 8 plus 8. Can't add up.
That's a nice modifier, plus 10.
Plus 10? For what? Oh, hitting.
On the impact stat.
Yeah, proficiency. And plus 5 dex. So it does say 16 points of damage. Nice. Now, Ithamore, you can go.
I'm gonna move a bit to interpose myself between Seraphine and the worm, and then I'm gonna attack.
Alright. 31's gonna hit. And 20 is gonna hit, and 20 is going to hit. So all 3 attacks, 30. doesn't have immunity to poison, so it does take the extra 2 poison damage as well. So 39, 41 points of damage. Wow, that was hard to figure out. Ooh. That hurt. And as you slash into it, these crystals begin to light up across its body. And as a reaction, everyone within 5 feet of it, which is you, Ulan, and Senator, I would like you guys to make... What is this?
Please be a dexterity save.
It is.
Oh, okay.
As several of the crystals across its body light up red.
It's a check.
You still take half?
No, it's a check.
Oh, that's a check. I will let you roll again. There we go. As well as Ulan.
Scanning your inner road.
26. Nice. So, both monks completely avoid this as the crystals almost detonate across its body, sending out a shockwave of fire. If more, you're the only one to roll below 15. Oops, supposed to put an R in front of that. Lovely 9 points of fire damage as almost a nova of fire comes out of these crystals. And that ends your turn. On its turn, as its body starts rising out of the ground, it takes both itself and its before that, the 2 inside, you suffer acid damage.
Great.
19 points of acid damage, to be precise. Then, as its movement, it comes out of the ground and travels up. 5, 10 to here. I would like Seraphina, Ithelmore, and Senator to also make dex saves as it comes out of the ground and then comes back down above you two, above you three.
I fail.
Adrona succeeds, and Ithelmore fails. What did you roll, Seraphina?
I fail automatically.
Oh. Really?
Yep.
Oh, alright. Well,
Paralyze. You fail automatically.
yes, because you rolled your sanity check.
Yep.
Thank you. Yeah. So, as this thing, you just like it's frozen in place as yourself and if more are immediately swallowed and devoured.
Hi guys, you get the
Adriano, you managed to step to the side. You get to choose which direction you want to go. Out of his way. Alright. As Ithamore and Seraphina, you take oh, that's plus 9, so 20 points of piercing damage as it comes down, and you're both immediately swallowed.
So restrained.
Restrained and blinded.
Restrained, blinded, and paralyzed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pile on.
Aaron, you watch as more of your people are
All my friends are inside.
taken and taken from the inside. As it then begins to plunge deeper underground, it then vanishes into a tunnel.
Guys, it was nice knowing you.
I'm gonna mark it as
Outgame not.
Not so much. it, I'm gonna stay on. Apparently. What?
What? Huh?
Oh, what? I'll just mark it as stealthed. Okay. So, disappears underground. Seraphina.
Well, I do nothing
Yep.
because I cannot do anything.
Yep. At the end of your turn, it is.
I'm gonna die. I'm already down half my hit points.
Oh, half your hit points. Oh, how nice.
Going to. Actually, how much movement have I? Yeah, still had 20 movement.
I
Okay.
had full hit points ish. Now I'm at half.
Still there. Yeah, it's not going to use that yet. So Ulan is.
Oh,
He's going to chase after it. He's going to jump down the hole after it. He has enough movement easily, right? I'm pretty sure. Don't he?
He got way.
Oh yeah, easily. As he just goes down the hole, you see him vanish, and chases after it. Actually, he doesn't have to be next to it. And he's going to...
I have a problem.
You have a problem?
I cannot chase it because it's the source of my fear, as it's the only enemy we have.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you cannot see it right now.
You can't see it right now, so you're technically not feared at this point.
They can walk up to until you. Well, he's blinded. He can't see anything, right?
He's going to do his 3 unarmed
Yep,
attacks.
He got dark vision.
Oh, he got dark vision. Never mind.
27, 14 is going to miss. 16 is going to miss. So he only gets 1 for 10 points of damage. As he's running after it, now it's going to use a reaction to hit him behind with his tail. So this is. That's 9. $26 is going to hit Ulan. Ow. Oops. I can't do math. 2d6. That's 9. There we go. Ow. So Ulan takes 18 points of damage and needs to make a con save. Alright. Oh, 20. And that's what he needed. So he only takes half of this. Seeing that is just ridiculous. Half of 34. Whoa.
Does the Dwellford Worm can do anything to poison?
He is dwarven, so he takes resistance. So he halves this again. So it would.
What level is Ulan? Because if he's monk 10, he's immune to poison.
He's monk 9.
Ugh.
No, didn't you say you level everybody up to 10?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
he's
but
fighter
all
1.
level of fighter.
He's
Yeah.
fighter 1.
Oh.
Yeah. So he's still gonna half this and half it again. So I can't do math. 17, half of 17, 9. Sure, 9.
Well, you always round up.
Yeah. So, okay. Fortunately, it was not as bad. 20. Okay. He's only taken 27 points of damage instead of a lot more. Which ends his turn. Senator.
Well, I am going to run towards the beast.
Alright.
What else can I do?
You jump down this hole after Ulan, and you can see this beast of a tail that stabbed into Ulan. As it seems to be burrowing away with your friends. What are you doing?
That's 2.
2 attacks. Bam! Both of those hit. 25 and 24 again. For another 21 points of damage. Nice.
And I have a question.
You have a question?
Yes. Actually, you know what? Never mind. I'm not going to use my Polarize. I'm going to make a flurry of blows.
Go for it. As you try again, second time, to punch into
As I punch him, I just say, remember the times when I was the only one being eaten? Yeah, good times.
it. Both of those hit this time. As its back exposed, it's easier to strike into.
Yeah.
And yeah, both those hit for 17 points of damage.
Come on, guys,
Um,
we're distracting it.
Yeah, we're ticketing.
At this point, some of the crystals on its back begin to glow a shade of blue. At the end of your turn, Savannah. You're still in this creature, and you can feel this kind of sense of nausea as you're kind of moving, but you don't know where you're moving.
So first off, I'm gonna use my second wind.
Alright. Bonus action. Oh yeah, 17 hit points.
That means that, yes. My head math. A second. So after that, I'm gonna use my accent search, and I'm gonna go full bananas.
Bananas. With, I imagine, RPM.
Yes. It's the only weapon I actually can do that with. So.
As you kind of still have some ammo in the chamber, you kind of just fire.
I only lost one bullet in RPM. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh. Oh. Would have been a 20. It's not a 20, unfortunately.
One is a misfire.
Which one's a misfire?
No one is misfire.
Oh, none of them are misfires, yeah. And one of them actually hits. Sorry, 2 of them hit. Actually, no, 3 of them hit. What am I saying? Wait, 4 shots? Oh, because you're action surging.
Yeah.
So yeah, as you just fire. Actually, how many bullets do you have in RPM? 5.
6 bullets.
6 bullets.
And I
Okay,
have
so you
5
fired
bullets left.
5. Okay.
One bullet left in the chamber. Like ah.
Yeah. So yeah. So the second, third, and fourth hit. That's impressive. 23 on the disadvantage. Dealing 5, 18, 27 points of damage. No. 35 points of damage. Damn. Can't do math. Yeah. Okay, good.
I was
As-
not
yeah.
expecting to hit with any of the bullets, but sure.
As it actually begins to groan, and you can feel definitely some blood is starting to pool out of these muscles that you're basically singeing at this point from just the gunpowder itself. He now has to make a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, because purple worms are so bad at Constitution.
With a +6. Oh no, sorry, it's a +11. What am I saying? Alright.
Because there's no way they can backfire.
I know, that's the other
Backfire.
problem.
Get it?
Wow, wow.
As it starts to kind of rumble, but doesn't seem to
Rainy, when
be
we play Overwatch later, I'm not healing you.
spitting you out at this point. Saren,
Yep.
you're back
Okay.
up.
Awesome.
As you can just hear, kind of muffled within the belly of this beast, these gunshots just going.
Like, it sounds like awesome metal band lyrics.
Belly of the beast.
In the
I
belly
think
of the
that's
beast,
been
you
done.
hear it's gunfire.
Oh dear God. All right. Do I have? Okay, good. I still have the button ticked. Okay.
I'm just gonna go wild. Oh, another
I
one.
have no choice. I
Like, it
literally
lit-
can't do anything else.
Yeah, it's literally the only thing that damage he can do. He's hit it with all we got. See it works.
As again, you're just frantically just trying to get some type of impact, as you have no feet to put anywhere, as you're just kind of held in this position. You haven't got any ground to really, well, ground yourself on. Yeah. As you're just frustrated and you just... Hmm? You said,
Sorry, can I spend... Does Cleaving Whirl... Can I spend a focus die to get a third attack, or is that not exactly how Cleaving Whirl works?
I think the one you're thinking of is Flurry.
No, because that I have to hit first.
Oh, then, yeah.
But Cleaving
Cleaving
Whirl
Whirl.
doesn't specify.
Cleaving Well is on an attack.
Spend a focus die and perform a cleaving attack against one creature within melee in front of you.
Yeah. That is one of your attacks, becomes Cleaving.
Oh, okay, never mind then. I misunderstood that. Okay, thank you.
That's fine. Aaron, your fear has disappeared, along with more of your friends.
Well, if I jump down the hole and gracefully land like a magnificent beast I am, how far is the worm away from?
If you go down the hole, which is slightly in front of you, it's about here. Then you can see it.
15 feet.
You can see its butt.
It's so scary.
My spell does not specify that I need to see people to heal them.
I think you need to know where they are.
Nope, I just choose targets within a point, within range.
Yeah. So you need to know that they're there.
Oh, I know they're there.
You're like, I'm pretty sure I saw them get eaten.
They're being swallowed, so I assume they haven't eaten much.
Sure.
Right.
It doesn't say C, so sure. Boom. Who's that
Oh,
one?
that's nice.
I mean, I guess all of them took damage at
Yes.
one point, right?
We all needed that.
You choose 6 creatures.
Yeah, so even Ulan took some damage, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so everybody except me.
Alright.
I didn't take any damage, so I don't know if you.
Well,
need
then you
someone
get
else.
the healing for you. It makes you feel better and special.
Okay.
Alright. So yeah,
And it's not 20. It's 28 in total.
the ones inside gain 23 hit points.
28.
Oh, 28, because yeah, you're +5.
Nice.
Alright.
That felt nice. Like he did.
And with that, it's going to use another one of its reactions before its turn comes back up to make a sting against Seneja now instead.
Alright, bring it on.
No, it's not. Oh, there we go. It's 9. Does a 21 hit you?
Yeah, that hits.
You take a astounding 3d. Oh, sorry, 8d6. Lovely 19 points of piercing damage. And can you give me a con saving throw?
I am immune to poison.
You are immune to poison. So you just feel this thing, and you feel like something is being injected into you, and you're like, what?
I just. Oh, I do need to make the save though, because I've been damaged.
See if you get a heart attack.
My sanity thing, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Go do that then.
What save was it?
It is, I believe.
Is it insanity?
I don't know what that would have been.
Did I not tell you?
Yeah, but it's so long ago. I never actually used it.
I can find it again because I believe I put it on our Skype. You have to make a sanity check.
Okay.
Actually, I didn't say the number, so I would say you just have to beat 10.
Alright, sanity check,
Minus
sanity check.
13. Just
Ah!
Alright,
I'm gonna
you
use-
have
I'm
one
gonna
mark.
use a hero point. I'm gonna use a hero point.
Okay. You go and try it. Use that hero point. Oh, gets it to 11.
nice.
Kind of have your heart racing for a second. Which is but you
was
managed to,
close.
Episode of ER happens.
you managed to chew yourself out.
Two.
That would have started being very bad. Ithamore, it's your turn.
I'm gonna just flail about, try and chop it up from the inside.
Alright. You have disadvantage, but go for it. First one, 19. Second, 23. 21. All three hit. Even inside this beast, you just... into some flurry of blades. Cutting significantly into it. 32... 43...
51, including the poison.
Yeah, 51 points of damage. Ouch.
Ouch.
That's
Ouch.
my delicate flower.
Delicate Flower does so much damage.
Remember, even though Rose has thorns.
Oh, for fuck. Okay, you are getting smacked upside the head right out here.
He has to make another con saving throw. Let's see if it spits.
Well, I just have to say, if ever Iframore starts a house, his banner needs to be a delicate flower.
23.
Never mind.
Succeeds on that one. Yep. He has one last reaction, so at the end of your turn, it's going to make a... Yeah. It's going to do another sting at Senator. No, actually, because it's taken significant damage, several of the other crystals begin to light up again. These deep blue ones. And as they radiate out through this tunnel, it's just you two, actually. Ulan and Senator.
Yeah.
Can you give me Constitution saving throws this time?
Come on.
As a chill of almost a blizzard blows through this tunnel.
I don't think it's gonna be enough.
Ulan.
Probably not now.
5. Alright. Yeah. Both of you two fail on that one. Ooh, for 15 points of cold damage. As this nova of cold seems to just chill this entire tunnel. Which, at that point, it begins coming up underneath Tovrok, which I also forgot to put on initiative.
So he has been just looking at most of the people around him being swallowed and doing nothing.
He's like, what do I do? But he's gonna
Not get eaten.
not get in, which he's gonna try and do. He has to make a dex save.
Please fail this. There needs to be more people in here.
20.
Damn it.
He managed to step out of the way
Don't banish us,
as
even
it
though that would be funny.
comes out.
I want to
Which, as a note,
He's
you
not
guys
invited
take
to the private party.
some lovely acid damage. Ooh, 22. That's a solid
What?
amount. 22 points of acid damage.
You?
Yeah, you.
Wait,
Well,
can we fix that?
If it had not been for the healing, I would have been down.
As it explodes back out of the dirt. The only one really visible is Tovrok and Aaron.
What? I'm in the hole.
Oh, yeah, actually, you went down the hole, so yeah, you actually... Oh. So, yeah, Tovrok.
Oh no.
As it dodged out of that, he's just going to make 2 attacks, 2 bites.
Hang on, did he move away from us?
It moved away from you, so yes, you can.
Yeah, can I take an attack of opportunity?
Yes.
Just-
You get to make 1 attack.
Never
Alright.
mind.
With a solid 11.
Here's what counts.
There's a plus 9 on
Not
this.
when we're dying, it doesn't.
First one. Okay, that's gonna hit. And second one. It's 22. Alright, both of these are gonna hit. Wow. is gonna hurt. I'll just roll both of these together. Plus 40 points of damage. Ow.
Jeez.
Ow. Oh, actually no. You can take. I should roll those together. Oops. He takes a little less damage, and as he manages to skirt out of the range of one of them. But yeah, ow. He actually has to make another dex save, otherwise be swallowed. Again. He also has a +9 on us. So yeah. Let's make it twice. Okay. Second time, however, the more comes across him, and he also vanishes when it, as it comes up.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
And looks around. All three of you guys are in a tunnel.
Rumble in the valley.
So instead, it knows where you are, Senja. Yeah, it's gonna burrow into the wall.
Worm, come back.
Boop. Oops. Let me take all you guys with me. Boop.
Well, you are aware we have the light thing, so we would be able to see. Just as a FYI. So you
War.
could just.
There's 3
cluster.
people you haven't swallowed yet. We haven't come back.
Technically, you're blinded, so it doesn't help.
So how did the adventure of the Broken Compass go? And
Worm.
Which ends his turn. Seraphina, you are now unparalyzed.
Questions.
Cool.
I don't
paralyzed
give a shit.
and
Set off a fucking fireball in this asshole's gullet, please.
That is one of the questions I have.
You're still
And
blind.
you said I was paralyzed for 1 turn. So
Yes.
I am not anymore.
You know you got swallowed, but you are restrained and blinded.
Yes. How limited is my movement and my
0.
speaking?
Yes.
Your movement is 0. Your speaking is pretty much muffled as you're in the stomach of a creature being dissolved. So speaking lets acid into your mouth, which is
So
probably
I could not really use spells with a vocal component.
yeah, it's probably a bad idea.
I have to check my spells because.
Which is most of your spells. Vocal. I think you probably have some. I guess you still can. It's just very. It's like. It's like being underwater.
Flames and counterspell. That's it.
Counter spells. Oh, interesting.
But I have the staff,
You do have a staff.
which is another question. I got eaten. Did my head or my legs go first?
It came over, so you head first.
Would I have let go of my staff?
You were paralyzed, so you're probably still holding it.
And it was head first?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
So you're technically upside down.
can I...
Just to make things even more confusing.
I have no... I have no idea where the rest of the group might
Nope.
be.
You're just hearing like explosions coming from inside and slashing.
Just do it.
Yeah, we need to get out of here. So I will, from the magic step by fire, I have a question to that too. Can I use 2 charges from it at once?
Does it say?
No.
I believe it's just 1 charge per spell. Yeah, it's not like a wand. I'm pretty
It's,
sure.
I can add a die to damage.
Oh, if it's fire,
Yes.
yes. So technically, yeah.
That is one of the features for it.
Yeah, so yes.
Because
Increase damage by die, if you want to do it that way.
because then I will
Mm.
cast Burning Hands from it, I assume I don't have to say anything.
That's a good point. I should have clarified if there was. So, because I didn't, I will say you can. So you're going to cast Burning Hands? Burning Hands is a 20-foot cone.
No, 30.
Oh, 30-foot cone.
50.
Oh gosh. How's this gonna work? It's definitely not gonna make a dex save. So, it's going to take damage. I guess it can take half damage.
Oh my god, did they make an update again?
Let's have a look. Oh, I will see if we can. Let's have a look. Okay, good. Alright, so it doesn't take. It's going to take the full damage. However, the ones ahead of you, which is Seren, Savant, and
When
Ithelmore.
she's upside down, so yeah, so she's aiming down a lot.
Yeah. You auto fail as well because you're restrained.
Oh my god, coach, please.
So smoke and fire comes down
Wait,
the gullet.
wait a minute.
Yes. Yes, Sarah.
That doesn't sound right. Sorry, hold on a second.
The save is 16.
They're restrained. They cannot make dex saves.
No, it just says disadvantage.
Oh, is it on disadvantage?
On dexterity saving throws.
Never
for
mind.
restraint.
You don't have danger sense because you can't see it coming because you're blinded.
Is it blind?
That doesn't matter. I have I'm raging. It's a feature of raging.
Oh, okay. I'm on.
I mean, it still just makes it a regular save for me, but
Yes.
Well,
So yeah, you can make some.
Why?
Wow.
Why? Wow.
So that's the damage.
Why do I
46.
have to go
Ooh, 19. Ithelmore.
make me keep going?
Disadvantage, but you can make
When I
attack.
don't want to.
Okay. So you do yours at normal. Yes.
it was almost a 4. Well,
Almost a 14. Which I think. What was the DC again? You said 14.
16.
Oh, 16. Okay, so you wouldn't have either. Actually, no, you would have because you have a +1. Okay, never mind. So, two of you are going to take the full 15. Savant, you take half, which is 7. 8. 8 points damage. Alright, as this gullet of fire just goes down the gullet of the beast, just with smoke and ash.
Do I technically also take the damage because I cannot see? So I cannot spell shit around myself? It is
Yeah.
a cone, but...
It is a cone, so it's not really
Well,
going to
never
engulf
hit
you.
yourself with your own cone, do you?
Yeah.
yeah, but it's emanating from your hands and the staff. It's not.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but it's also very enclosed.
Yeah, but you would have to be standing in front of the cone, and that's
Exactly.
kind of the
I'm asking.
You are restrained, but I can say you've managed to get it in front of you that you don't burn yourself.
Also, can't you shape spells?
She has to
Yeah,
see.
but if you see... I have
I mean,
to see.
Yeah, but I'm assuming that you are at least conscious of where your body is. You can
Yeah.
shape
Yeah,
it.
that's true. That's your action. And
Yeah, spit us out.
yeah, actually, how much damage is that? 15.
Oh shit, we're in the middle of a wall.
You're in another tunnel. No, this one.
Not gonna go over him also because we will be in front of it.
Yeah, all of you hear this horrible, just like, kind of, it's not really a scream, it's just more of just a primal, as it's just literally being cooked from the inside, which is a lovely smell for the rest of you inside it. Acid and ash, perfect mixture.
Ash, flames, and sulfur.
At
Ulan
least it's temporary, yeah, and the acid doesn't start cooking.
didn't see it disappear, but comes out of the tunnel.
At least they're making battery
Yeah.
acid inside of it.
I tried, okay.
Which was 30 feet. And it's already travelled another. Yeah. It's gone down. Yeah, actually, it's a monk. You can do it as a bonus action dash. You can jump down towards it. So you only get these 2 attacks. So let's have a look. Actually, how much damage you did? 50. Okay, wasn't enough. Pack stuff. Keep forgetting, these are at disadvantage because there is no light. Keep forgetting. Doesn't matter, still hits.
Well, I have low light vision. Does that matter?
No, it still does, because low light, which means dim light, which means still disadvantage. And that one. Okay, so one of them manages to hit for 7 points of damage. As he literally falls down the tunnel, which is pretty much vertical at this point, and lands on its back with the impact staff. Senator?
Right.
You're in pitch darkness in this tunnel as it's just disappeared ahead.
I'm gonna follow him.
Alright. Yeah, you're gonna have to dash to follow up behind, as you have to come out the tunnel, up, over the top, and then down.
Then I'm gonna dash.
Alright.
That's all I can do.
As you run out the tunnel and you see this hole which just drops down. You come out the top, drop down, seeing Ulan do the same. Make your attacks. At disadvantage because it is darkness. I keep forgetting. You're dim light. You don't have dark vision. But dim light. Which is why you need light, people.
Okay, can I?
Can you?
Lightstone is an action to do,
Put
right?
up. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Next turn.
It's great for being sneaky, but if you want to attack things, you kind of need light. Yeah. 13 and 12. You just managed to miss it as it goes past. It's... yeah. It's going to use a reaction at the end of your turn before Savant to... yeah, making a tail attack at you again. As you were the last one.
Okay.
Let me just roll instead like this. Plus 9. That's a 17. That's going to miss, I think.
No, that's my armor class.
That is your armor class. Oh, never mind. It's 36. Another 21 this time. And again,
9 hit points, and again I am immune to poison.
you're immune to poison.
Yeah, I
You
am
do
not
have to
doing
make that
well.
sanity check.
Yeah.
As your heart is racing.
Oh, sorry, this is with disadvantage. It would have been a 10.
It would have been a 10. Again,
Just barely.
you're like holding on a thread.
I mean, I am at 9 hit points, so I'm not doing the great, but
That ends his turn. Savant. You can feel it, this horrible mixture of viscous liquids just all over the place. And now this charred flesh and smoke coming down this tunnel. It's getting very hard to breathe at this point.
We're getting hard to breathe. Let's put some more ash into my lungs then, to fill out the air, that I'm missing.
Oh yeah, and there's gunpowder, so yeah, it's really bad. This terrible smell. That's a misfire.
Yeah, that's a misfire. Woo! I'm gonna hit.
You're gonna hit. At this point, yeah, it's just gonna be yourself. Good old 2 points of damage.
And I hit also because I'm grappled by it.
Yep. Also for 2 points. Is it just more smoke just starts billowing through this this creature?
Does the worm take Colossal Slayer damage?
Not because I didn't hit it with asked.
Yeah. It's not an attack. It's just a just an explosion.
Come on, old boom boom. Let's go here.
You're just gonna go through all your cards. 13. Not a misfire. but not a hit.
No.
Again, it's just fire into something, into the liquid itself, which just kind of dissolves it, starts melting. Yeah. How much damage? Oh, it's on the precipice of that. As Senator on the outside, you can see more of these crystals begin to glow across its body. This time, it's a mixture of the colors. As you're seeing several colors of like orange, yellow, green, blue,
Taste the rainbow.
kind of just beginning to shimmer across its entire body. Saren,
Oh no,
you're inside. What are you doing? Go crazy again?
Being angry.
I want to hit something.
No, sorry, that wasn't normal. I'll have to roll that again.
Yep, go for it. Doesn't matter.
I'm still hitting this time.
Still hit it. How do you want to do this?
Fucking great.
I just want to carve my way out of that fucker.
As Ulan and Senator are watching from the outside, you just hacking like a butcher. Just begin cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting, and just making just this wedge of meat and bone and flesh just begins to just peel apart from the inside out. At the same time, its body begins to shimmer with all these crystals glowing, and all of you, apart from Aaron, because Aaron's nowhere near, need to give me a dex save.
How about the people still trapped inside the beast?
Apart from Saren, you still have disadvantage. So, Ithamor, Saren, Seraphina, and Savant. As well as Tavrok.
Wow.
It explodes it, apparently.
Disadvantage is a 14. You need to be 15, which is only 1. Actually, wait, I need to do Ulans.
Those in the worm bowl too?
Yeah, in the worm as well.
Yeah,
As
with this monster.
the whole thing
Explodes.
is going to pretty much detonate.
Well-
With a disadvantage, Ulan still beats it.
Wow. Well, he rolled 2 17s.
Yeah, alright. As it detonates,
Well,
Right from Marky Doom.
27. 27 points of just elemental damage, of just several fire, cold, electricity, thunder, acid, poison. All of it just detonates across in just an array of color and blood and goo and ore, and just eviscerates this entire tunnel as the entire body of this worm just is pretty much mush, with the rest of your bodies pretty
I'm
much
unconscious.
I'm unconscious.
collapsed inside.
I'm fine.
Of course you are.
I'm in down.
And I didn't even take half damage. Yeah, whatever.
And you should have dark vision spell on you.
Aaron,
Yeah, I'm going towards the rave.
go towards the you just see this tunnel just erupt in color. It is like the weirdest thing. It's like rainbow tunnel. Huh.
Awesome.
We're in the rainbow sleep.
You run across to the edge, and you can see down this just mess of both people and some creature.
Reserve life, party members.
Alright.
Like 5 to everybody. No, 10.
yeah.
I can give 10. No. How many of you are there? Dying?
I'm at 29, so
That is-
everybody else, I'm okay
that's-
for now.
I'm at 19, so I'm still standing.
Minus
I want
one.
to be fair.
Tavrok is also down, actually.
Yeah, there's 7 excluding you.
So 3 people are down, and then
Okay,
there's...
so the downers, I'm gonna give 12 to. Well, no. 20.
Aaron's doing math.
Oh god,
What?
help us all.
My brain hurts.
Just give us equal. Just give us
I'll-
equal. It's fine.
I'll give all the 3 people that are down 16.66666 hit points.
16 hit points to Seraphina, Savant, and Tavrok, who's unconscious in this just mess of blood and acid.
Oh,
Just
60, and since Senegal was at 9, I gave him 1.
Thank you.
lovely. So what's that? 10 for Seren and Ithamore?
No, that was
Okay.
16 to all of that. I only have 50 to spend.
Oh, okay.
We're still up, so.
So yeah, those two are up. So just the 3 that went down. Okay, cool. So Tavrok is 16. Okay. All right. And with that, some semblance of quiet comes to the tunnel as
I'm just gonna swim out of the belly.
Guys, this place sucks.
most of your clothing that's not magical is beginning to dissolve, at least on the edges and the fraying. It's not looking great.
Savant will immediately run over to Aaron and basically hand him his scarf and wedding ring. Please fix this, please.
I'll clean it. Don't worry, I'm clean.
Also, you guys are covered in blood, like all of you in the tunnel.
That's
Nah,
fine.
I mean, that's like.
you really think the
Tuesday
barbarian
for
is
us.
gonna have an issue with that?
It may rust your clothing.
Joy in this. Oh, alright, maybe not quite.
The Ranger have other priorities than blood right now.
We're busy.
Saying what's left of his wife's music.
Tavrok is like completely befuzzled. Is probably the best word for him. But you all managed to climb out the tunnel. Kind of bleary, getting the both blood and acid out of your face. And Aaron, you got a lot of work to do cleaning these people up.
You guys
You
are a
want it.
mess.
Maybe we should get a move away from here, just in case another one comes along. Last thing we want is to set up camp and another one to pop up in the middle.
Whatever this thing was, I'm glad it is dead. And as you look down at this creature, which is immense in its size considering it was making these tunnels, what's left of it is fairly large chunks. Some of it's still mostly intact. Its tail is still intact.
I'm
And
gonna
that's
monster
about
out
it.
this shit.
It's also safe to assume it was magicite stones.
You can, from the explosion, you're like,
It kind of reacted like the tiny thing.
yeah, you can definitely assume it's had some reaction to crystals, especially after hearing from the Duragars that they weren't mining crystals down here.
A healthy diet of magicite.
But definitely was unexpected. As you guys finish shaking off the blood, what are you guys going to do?
Can we rest? I cannot do much more today.
We need to sleep.
I think we wanted to hurry along so we could get some more walk before we sleep, and this is now sleeping point. Let's just find a place where it's been quiet for some time, okay? Like either further back or right back or ahead. Okay. So this bundler thing is very nice.
The little one speaks wise words. Sleeping is probably adequate considering your conditions, as well as my own.
I was going to say, don't be so egotistic, okay?
Advice for the future: don't get swallowed.
Well, it was
Thank
nice
you.
and comfy inside.
Thank you for the advice.
Duly
You're
noted.
very welcome, sir. You know.
I'm gonna go
Um,
give him a hug.
This sloppy, dripping, gory hug.
Well, if
You have to
there's-
peel Seren off you. It's like,
if
Yeah,
there's,
get it off, get it off, get it off.
I guess if there's nothing else around us, we might as well take a rest in this area, because I think any area in the deep lands is just as dangerous area.
Just saying that you just smoldered a worm a little bit. If his meat is gonna stink, let's not just do it right here. I'm sensible.
Yeah, it's might be a trap as I stuff this down here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
let's move at least a little bit away.
I didn't
that's why
say
I said
right
we should
here,
move.
but in the
Admit I'm
Listen.
sensible.
If
No.
you can't get away the entire body, there's no way
Alright.
we could be able to be staying here.
then do you
Well, I could
suggest we
technically
go
freeze it.
back?
no
At
way,
least
it's tiny
100
bits.
just tiny bit.
What was that?
So,
I could technically freeze it, but I don't know how long it would hold.
I know it's massive. No, I'm like that's not gonna work.
Hmm.
Can you banish a body?
It exploded into a lot of tiny.
Chunks.
And I don't want to
Yeah.
expend the 4th level slot to banish a body.
Yeah.
Also, it would come back after a minute.
Yeah, I know it's creatures. I don't think it counts as a creature anymore.
Husk.
Yeah, more of a husk, a corpse. When your guess is more of an object at that point.
I mean, at this point, it's more of a
Yeah.
flat pattern, but
Well, the tail is fine.
So
Is
Is there
like
any-
how did it explode? Is like the tail pseudo impact, so we could put it in somewhere.
you could probably keep a tail if you wanted to. It's kind of oozing the poison everywhere into
Never
this mixture of gore.
Never mind.
But the stinger is there, yes.
I don't really have any need for it. It was more the hoarder in me.
Can we save some of the poison to use?
It's pretty hard at this point considering it's all mixed up now. But
Never mind. Alright, let's just move away, find a spot, and rest.
okay,
'cause
which
I'm
direction are you
fucking
going to go?
tired
Back
and
the
hurt.
way you came or forwards?
Well, we need to go forward, so I don't want to go back the way we came.
Well, but we know how the area is backwards. Ahead might
Be problematic.
and we will not be able
True.
to find a resting place for a long time.
The thing is, right, that this is apparently what you can call the home of this creature, which means smaller creatures, or larger creatures most of the time at least, wouldn't be in the close vicinity of someone's home. No, territorial pride and everything. So if we go up a bit, just a bit, like 100 meters or 200 meters, it shouldn't be that much of a problem. And it wouldn't go past us if we have up. Would either go past us because we don't smell as good as this giant corpse is. They would come from behind, from those sweated tunnels, which is probably made by this thing anyway.
What are you trying to say?
I recommend we go around 100 meters forward.
Why didn't we just bury it? It's already in a tunnel.
Yeah, we
Where-
could collapse the tunnel.
Well, the thing is, have you been in the Underdark long enough? It seems like a lot of things are
England.
underground here.
I think we're just talking about hiding the body. That's not a bad idea. What would it take to collapse the tunnel just in front of the body?
Without
to block it?
collapsing the entire area.
Yeah.
You're probably just gonna have to dig the sides.
Or we can spend 20 minutes collapsing the tunnel, 20 minutes walking.
Yeah, 20 minutes walking and 20 minutes collapsing.
It is up to you.
Well, we
We
discussed
do have
whether we're
friends
gonna...
that said basically, come here, we are about to die.
Yeah, it's not gonna do us any good if we die when we get there.
Let's take 20 minutes trying to collapse the tunnel then.
Well, there's also the fact that there's a lot of osmo spells that's being limited by now, and depending on the DM's answer to the question, Aaron and I might be blinded for the rest of...
Can we just go and find a place and Seraphina can set up a hut and we'll be safe there anyway?
Yeah, well, in the meantime, we'll try to get in touch with the others to see where they're at.
Well, how long ago did we contact them?
It was several hours ago. I believe it was...
It was before we closed the portal.
Yes, it was before you closed the portal.
It was 4 hours ago then.
Yeah, so it was roughly around 4 hours ago.
Okay, so
3, 4, yeah.
Theron and Savant will, and Ikmar, I guess, will make the call, and we'll walk ahead and see if we can find anything else.
Alright, so you can move your tokens. How far are you going to go? As you can see, the cavern itself narrows ahead.
Narrowing would actually be good.
Yeah, did we decide on going ahead or going back?
We should go ahead.
I think we should still... I mean, going back is good where we know a little bit more about it, but... I don't know. It
We're gonna
makes more
have to make
sense
out the distance later.
Exactly.
Anyway.
We're gonna have to retravel it, and I said just go forward.
We're doing a military march here, like forward is only direction. Oh.
Yeah, let's not bring up those comparisons, shall we?
No.
Well, should we maybe take a rest?
Yeah, we're gonna...
Because
As we...
there's a lot of us that probably looks very bad right now.
Most of you look pretty bad.
Well, we're not moving that much.
Can I see this up here?
Yeah.
So I can see something up here. It looks like a dead body.
Oh, to the question, Amber. Would I be able to just use a higher spell slot for a spell that technically don't have any extra effects by casting? Okay.
You can do that with all spells. It just doesn't do any extra effect unless mentioned. As you two come out, Ithamore, you definitely can see a body. As you come around, you can see several carcasses. Would be the best way of describing him.
I wave Sharon and Savant up to me and I point them out.
And as you look across, these very clearly look like similar creatures you've seen previously. Well, semblance of creatures you've seen previously, as most of their torso and a good chunk of their face is missing. They seem to have been very much devoured, as very little remains of the skin. And what remains is...
Do investigation or medicine on this one right here?
You can do either. You will get different results depending.
Can Savant use survival to figure out if it was a natural combat?
You do investigation if you wanted to know that. If you wanted to know what killed him, it would be medicine.
And I will do that.
If more 5, they were definitely
That
ambushed.
would have been disadvantage, so it would have been 3 more.
Oh, you definitely know they've been killed, but you're not sure how. They weren't just.
Were they? Does it look like they were chewed up and spit out like we almost were, or another creature?
You can do a check as well. You can
Alright.
do medicine, I think, for that.
Does it look like maybe they died from the mutations?
That definitely doesn't seem to be it. Definitely seems to have been killed specifically. Savant with 18. There's definitely clear markings across the bones which are visible. That it has been chewed at, which definitely reveals that it wasn't the worm that did that. It was definitely something smaller.
How small?
Like a
He's a ranger, right? He
like a
would,
beak.
He would know like the difference between chew marks.
yeah, like a beak, about the same size as your hand.
That's a big beak.
And there's multiple marks across its entirety.
Does the beak mark look like the beak through round?
It doesn't. There is no looking around. You can do a perception for that as you start walking around and looking if there's any ground markings. Seren with medicine. 10. You can definitely see the way they were killed. It was very clearly they bled out. And it looks like it was done pretty quickly, as there's several markings across what you know as vital veins and arteries,
Okay.
where looks like it's been bitten at. And for example, the neck is tore open in this very same beak pattern.
And
You looking around, Savant, you can see across all the walls, you don't see those large holes that the worm had burrowed. Not in this cavern, at least. What you do see, though, are small, almost like rat tunnels in several parts of the wall. That look like almost like perforations.
There you are.
yeah, Savant literally can't see you anymore.
They've walked away.
I think that there's a little side tunnel down here to Sam and tell her keep watch while I check it out.
Alright.
Savant doesn't walk up on the wall.
Oh, if was going ahead. Okay. You've just left everyone else behind.
Well, we are on a scouting point.
Yeah.
We can take a short.
Aaron and Mimsa, what are you guys doing?
Aaron and Mimsa.
Aaron and Serafina. There we go. I always say Aaron instead of everybody, which is really weird. So.
I just spotted something down here, so I'm going to quickly run back to Scaring and tell her.
Oh, give me a stealth check, Aaron. Ithamore, immediately. Because you are loud.
I have no idea where people went, so I have no idea in which direction actually to go.
As you see it, it
Well, you
hears
would've
you.
seen us moving upwards.
And Ithamore, as you start running back, you hear,
Oh, we hear where they went now.
you definitely hear them in the tunnel, yeah. ahead of you as it kind of echoes throughout the chamber. Savant, you checking out the tunnels? Savant?
Yes.
What did you say you were doing? Checking the tunnels?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Looking at the tunnels as you hear Ithamore running back, they...
Something to note.
the
You
ground
have
level?
his lightstone casted on a rivet in his on his glove, so when he's close, there's no light coming out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they're ground level, so you have to kind of bend down to look at them, even for your own height.
And
They're a little larger than like a rat hole. And using the light, you can see they're pretty deep. And they go into the stone quite far. And looking down, you see scales, and then a very small beak begins to open.
Don't shout it away.
When I get to 7, I just whisper, I've just spotted something. We should pull back.
Alright.
Someone died. Adriana did.
Adriana needed to go.
As you two come back out, you see Savant step back as one of these comes out.
what?
I would assume that the group left behind would start moving in the direction they think
Yeah.
the rest went.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Are we?
I don't know, are you?
Well, we said we are heading in that direction, and everyone should be heading. Just that we.
I would suggest to do it is, well, the splitting up that far away is a bad idea.
Savant, this one tries to lunge at you, but you were ready and you step out the side. I would like, yeah, all of you can roll initiative on this, I guess.
But me and Seraphina are far away.
Yeah. So technically you two don't, as you do. Make perception checks. You two can. What was that wonderful sound?
That was me. Yep, exactly.
The abdominal size.
I just want to point out that nobody from the scouting party got killed by me.
Savant did.
Oh yeah, you have 16 hit points.
There we go.
I'm healthy as fuck.
I would say, actually, let's take a break, and we'll come back to this point.
Alright.
Because we've somehow done already 2 hours.